Hiring a virtual assistant is one of the first things you should do for your business. As an entrepreneur, you are taking care of a lot of tasks. Filing orders, responding to customers, putting out fires. A virtual assistant is like having an extra pair of hands without the overhead of hiring an employee in your office. You don't need office space, you don't need to give them a computer. Virtual assistant comes equipped with everything. At hiretrainva.com, we hire hundreds of virtual assistants from all over the world. So if you want to know what are the best strategies how to hire a virtual assistant, then keep watching this video. In this video, I'm gonna share the secrets of how we do it at HireTrainVA, and I'm gonna let you take a quick peek behind the curtain. So this is the big moment that changes the game for a lot of companies. And this is the hiring process that we like to use at HireTrainVA. So number one, we usually start with a kickoff call with our potential clients to determine where they are in the business and what their needs are. So if you're looking for a VA for your company, first understand how this VA will fit into your company. Identify the tasks or the responsibilities you should delegate and the skills required to complete them. We usually have a kickoff call, we walk you through a couple of questions, but again, if you're doing this yourself, really have a good understanding of what it is that you need help with. What do you want to outsource? In our kickoff call, we discover whether we can help the company, and if so, we figure out what virtual assistant would be the best match. The second step is the hiring process. We post ads on job platforms, LinkedIn, Facebook groups, and so on, and we look for individuals who have the skills and experience we're looking for. In this series, there will be a video on how to write the perfect job ad, so make sure you don't miss it. But in the meantime, this is what our job ad looks like. So when you post an ad, be prepared to receive a lot of applications. Your inbox will be flooded, your messenger will be flooded. So many applications, so many emails, but only a few of those people will match your criteria. So that takes us to step number 3. Screening candidates. When we screen candidates, the first thing we look at is the VA's level of English. If we are hiring for a position that needs phone skills, we ask the candidate to provide a voice sample. Before we even look at the resume, and trust me, a lot of people can lie in their resumes, right? So before we even do that, we check the voice recording and determine whether we want to invite this person to the next step, whether we're gonna look at the resume at all. So if you're hiring for a non-voice position, you can omit the step. You don't necessarily need a voice recording. We then look at the resumes and invite the right person to the first interview. We typically have 2 interviews, but if you're just hiring for yourself, you may choose only to have 1, which is totally fine. So this is another step where a lot of people are disqualified. They might not show up at the interview. You might find out their resumes are not always accurate. They might have lied. There are a lot of red flags, conflicts of interest, you name it, right? So there's a lot of this is where we disqualify a huge chunk of people. In fact, when we hire virtual assistants, I would say that about 95-96% of the candidates are not a good fit for us. So if you're not as strict with the criteria, you might have a higher acceptance rate. It's just that we are very strict in when we find virtual assistants. You never know when the right person will see your ad, so keep looking for the right fit. Don't hire out of desperation. If you don't find the first person, even if your email is flooded with applicants, but you don't find the right person, then try again. Just keep running those ads. Keep trying again, because again, you never know when that right person will see your ad. All right, step number 4. This step is often overlooked, and that is the task test. We don't hire for theoretical knowledge. We want to know what this person can truly deliver. And again, from my experience, we've seen it all. We've seen resumes that are not accurate. We've seen portfolios that are perfect, but then those people can't deliver not even 10% of what the portfolio shows. We've seen everything. So testing the knowledge is crucial. This is the person to get things off your plate. So every role you hire for can be tested. For example, if you're hiring a cold caller, you can do a live role play. You can give them objections, see how they respond, see how comfortable they are being in uncomfortable situations, and so on. If you are hiring a video editor, they can edit an older reel of yours or an older video of yours, and it doesn't have to be long. It can only be 10, 20 seconds. They can completely watermark it, so you don't use that edit, but you really want to know the skills applied to your specific project. If you're looking to hire a copywriter or someone to write blogs for you, again, we don't want to use this labor for free. So don't use that blog if someone does it for free. That wouldn't be fair. That's not ethical. So they can either watermark it, or you can give them a specific topic outside of your industry to write a blog post on, because you really care about the skills. You care about how those people tell the story in a captivating way. So for example, if we hire virtual assistants and I need to hire someone to write a blog post for me, I wouldn't give them a topic on hiring virtual assistants. I would give them a topic on real estate or the importance of, I don't know, climate change, or anything that you think of. I really care about the research, the grammar, the way they tell the story, and so much more. But it is so important to test that knowledge. If you need someone for social media, they can make a small social media post. Again, watermarking is fine. Or they can create a sample content for just one day when you actually need it for a week or a month, right? So just to really understand what this person can do for you. You get the idea. You want to see how fast and how well this virtual assistant delivers the task. This is an opportunity for people to go above and beyond, and you get to understand the personality of the candidate you'll be working with. What we found out is about 10% of the people you send the task to will actually complete it. The rest will disregard it. So that's an important factor. You really want motivated people. You want people that are hungry. You want people that are stable. You want people that want to work for you, and not just someone who says they do and then they don't deliver. And there should also be a deadline for the project. For some of the tasks, we deliberately don't give a deadline because we want to see how fast that virtual assistant will complete the task. So if it takes them 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, a month, then obviously that's not going to work out for us. But if you'd prefer to, yes, you can give them a deadline. Whew, that was a long step. Number 5. So after we've done all of this, right, we screen the candidates, we look through the resumes, we interview them, we give them a task. Once we've shortlisted the candidates we like, we check references. And at this point, the list can get even narrower. We contact previous clients or employers to verify the candidate's work, experience, and qualifications. And we prefer to do this ourselves. So for example, I know a lot of people, a lot of companies, they ask virtual assistants for references. We prefer not to do that because obviously they're going to give the names of someone who they had a good experience with, or it could be their friend who pretends to be the employer. Trust me, I've seen it all, right? So what we prefer to do is, once I know the name of the company they worked for before, then we will do our own research. We will get in touch with that contact so that we get an accurate description of that person's work ethic. And yes, we've dodged a few bullets using this method. So, but yes, even though the list gets narrower, you really want those A players on your team, and that's how you get it done. So let's move on to the next step. Step number 6. At this point, you hopefully have 1 or 2 good candidates. If you don't have anyone good, and that can happen, try again. It's worth it in the end. But let's say you have already decided on the person you will bring on board. What happens next? Establish an agreement. Discuss and agree on the scope of work, compensation, and other details of the working relationship. If you use our company, for example, we will provide a few candidates for you that have already gone through all the steps up until now, so you only see the best ones. So you don't have to screen them, you don't have to have your inbox flooded with applications, you don't have to test their skills and so on. We already do this, and at this point we'll just give you the people that have passed successfully through all of these steps, yes, including given reference checks. Number 7 is bringing that person on board. Give them access to your tools, software, provide necessary training and resources. We highly recommend that you use something like LastPass, so you don't give a password directly to the person, but it obscures the password and the VA only has access to it. I might make a video about this later on. Let me know if that's something you need, or let me know if there's anything you need when it comes to hiring virtual assistants, and I will address that in a separate video. Number 8, so important. Communication and supervision. A virtual assistant can't read your mind, and your immediate constructive feedback is very, very important. Establish regular check-ins and communication channels to ensure that the work is being completed to your satisfaction. With my team, for example, we start every day with a daily huddle to make sure we're focusing on one important thing for that day and what we want to accomplish. This also brings us closer to a team. If there's any issues, we solve them right away. The daily huddle only takes 15 minutes, but it's such a good start of the day. We see each other, we greet each other, we talk about maybe how the weekend was. 15 to 20, maybe sometimes 30 minutes a day, but it can really make a difference. And we focus on, okay, what is the most important thing we have to accomplish today? What is your needle moving activity for the day? So they stay focused, they stay sharp, and it's a great practice. We also have weekly meetings together as a team. We talk about numbers, we talk about our KPIs, we talk about any issues, how to solve them, and so on. So communication, effective communication, good supervision is very important when working with virtual assistants. Number 9, performance evaluation. Regularly evaluate the performance of a virtual assistant and make adjustments as needed. If they're not performing well, make sure you provided enough training and guidance for them to do so, and let them know how you feel about their work. Take ownership. If they're not doing something right, did you provide everything they need in order to be successful? Did you give them the right training? Were you clear on the expectations? Do they know what they're being measured on? What kind of KPIs they have to report to you? Are they familiar with your process and systems? That is so important. So before you point fingers at anyone, make sure you give them everything they need. If you know you've provided everything for them, and if you don't see any improvements, it's time to part ways and bring someone else on board. So at Hire Train VA, we take a lot of things off your plate when it comes to working with VAs. We will monitor their KPIs. If they have any issues, we'll jump on a personal call with them, see what they need, how we can help them. We want the relationship between you and the virtual assistant to be very, very smooth. So we'll also continuously coach them. We have weekly meetings. We want to foster that sense of community and that pride of being a virtual assistant. If you're interested in all of our services, I will leave the links in the description to learn more about what we do. But this is the process we use at Hire Train VA. I'm telling you, it's a lot. It's not easy, but it really helps us find really good virtual assistants. So thank you for watching, subscribe for more value, and I'll see you in the next video in this series.